It really is a pleasure to be here with you today. This is a big deal. I mean, it really is. It's such a big deal that I thought that I might dress up like Steve Jobs, and just wear all black with a black turtleneck and have a screen behind me. And I said, no, that probably wouldn't work. And then I said, well, maybe I can be like Oprah Winfrey, and everybody in the audience today will get an iPhone 10. Well, that's not going to happen, so that's too bad. But I think what we're going to do is really give you an awful lot of good information about a service which we are excited about, which I think is going to be a real benefit to you. A little bit about myself, for those of you who do not know. I'll spoil my reputation by telling you that I was a former legislator, a state legislator in Illinois. So now that you already think ill of me, the governor was kind enough to reach across the aisle and appoint me as the Director of the Department of Revenue, and it is really an honor for me to be the Director of the Department of Revenue. I will tell you, within state government, Revenue is, if not the most professional and well-respected agency, is certainly one of them. You might put public health up there as well, and perhaps the state police. But our responsibility at the Department of Revenue is a big one for the state. We collect roughly $45 billion in revenue every year. Of that $45 billion, 98.4% of it is deposited in the right account within 24 hours. We process 6.1 million individual income tax returns. Last year we did 5.3 million electronically. This year we'll do about 5.4 million electronically. So it's a great service that we provide to the state, but it's a service that we provide to the taxpayers. And this service, which we're rolling out today, I think will be a great one for you all. I hope you find it to be that. When the governor was sworn in, and when he selected me as the director of the Department of Agriculture, I was sworn in the same day as the director, a good friend of mine, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Revenue. He said to all of the directors, he said, I want you to use technology to push us forward and make things as efficient in the state of Illinois as you possibly can. And I think we are doing that with the rollout of MyLocalTax. Are any of you familiar, or do any of you have or have signed on to MyTax Illinois accounts for individual purposes? There's one over here, a couple here. Quite frankly, and I've done it, it's really easy. You have to get authorized initially, but once you're on the system, you can plug in, you can see what your tax payments are, you can see what correspondence you may have had from the Department of Revenue. It's an extremely simple and easy service to use, and I think that's what you're going to find out with MyLocalTax. Now, I mentioned to you that I was a former state legislator, and I noticed from the attendance here today, and by the way, if I could put this many people in a room doing a political event, I'd feel awfully good about it. So I feel awfully good about this here today. But I noticed that there were some folks here from, I don't know if you're here yet, from Rolling Meadows. Are they here yet? No? Rolling Meadows, there we go. Prospect Heights, are the Prospect Heights folks? There we go, all right. Please say hi to the mayor and to Joe for me. But there are folks here really from all over, from Will County, Kane County, obviously DuPage County. Down in Kankakee, we have folks here today from Kankakee. And my point there is simply to say it shows the interest in MyLocalTax and what I think is going to be a great benefit to you all. The key thing really is that it comes down to service. As you know right now, the department interacts with local municipalities and counties all the time. You want to make sure that you get the dollars that you're supposed to get under the local government distributive fund and all of the other funds that are supposed to be coming your way. You want to make sure that you get them. You want to make sure you get them in a timely manner. And you want to make sure that the entities, those businesses which are in your districts, in your areas, that indeed they are correctly allocated to you. Whereas before, you used to get that disc 3 times a year. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, you're going to be able to get on the computer, sit down at your keyboard, you're going to be able to find out right online whether or not ABC plumbing business is correctly allocated to your municipality and make sure that it's accurate. The idea is to centralize that location or centralize that service. Those of you who currently are signed on as authorized individuals to receive the information that you get, or that the sensitive information that your government gets, you're going to have to do that here. Other individuals who are not on that sharing agreement that we have can get the general information, but the specific financial information that is shared on a confidential basis is going to be confidential here with MyLocalTax. So again, I think there are going to be protections that you don't have to worry about somebody coming in and inappropriately accessing your data. The objective, obviously, is to get the dollars into the proper accounts in a timely manner, which I think we do now, but this is going to be able to allow you to go online and look and see and make sure those dollars are there when they were supposed to be there. Speaking of dollars, by the way, I'm going to put in a small plug here, and no matter what you may think about the governor's initiative for the fair tax, whether you're for it or against it, I will tell you that if the people of the state of Illinois decide that they want to move in the direction of a fair tax and authorize that at the ballot next year, local municipalities will see an increase of in aggregate $200 million in the local government distributive funds. So more dollars coming into the local funds. So that pretty much gives you a sense of what I think is why this is such an important initiative. The department has reached out as aggressively as we possibly can to make this happen. As Brenda said, unfortunately, she is retiring at the end of the month. She's been with the department for 35 years. When she came into my office and said, I'm going to be retiring at the end of the month or at the end of June, I called up my administrative services guy and I said, hey, make sure you have some bracing because part of the building is going to crumble when Brenda leaves. She has been really such a wonderful, wonderful part of the Department of Revenue over literally decades, and the services that she has provided through the Taxpayer Services Bureau have been absolutely tremendous, and she deserves the round of applause that you all gave her previously. Is this perfect? Is the system perfect? There's probably no system that is perfect. You're going to spend the day learning how to use it. You're going to spend the day getting a lot of information as to the best way to use it. We want your input. We want your feedback. I will tell you that we tested this extensively before we rolled it out. We had folks come in from both from municipalities from around the state. Was it Urbana or Champaign? Champaign. I always get them confused. Champaign or it was from Champaign. We had folks come in from other areas of the state to test it out. They were very enthusiastic when they saw it. I hope you will find it to be as beneficial to you as they did. But if you see something you think we might be able to improve on, let us know. Let us know if you think this workshop is a good one, if there's some way we can improve it, because we're doing this around the state for the next, how is it, a week or 2 weeks? 2 weeks. About a month, like I said, about a month. That's why she keeps track of the numbers and I don't. I don't know if there's anything else I can tell you other than it really is a pleasure to be here to kick this off. A significant service which we at the department, our objective, our goal is to service taxpayers. Our objective, our goal is to interact with you, with your municipalities, with your counties as seamlessly and as easily as we possibly can. We think this is going to be a great service for you. We think this is going to be a benefit that you will find well worth the time that you've spent here today. Talk to your colleagues who may not be here. Talk to others within your government to say, hey, this is really going to work. We think we've got something here. And if you have any concerns, any problems, call the Department of Revenue. I will tell you that we are happy to handle any concerns that come up. The objective is service. That's what we try to provide on a quick, efficient, and timely manner. So, having said all that, I'm going to turn it over and let Brenda begin Brenda and Erin begin the day's workshop. But if there are any questions of me before I leave, good, that's why I like it. She'll handle the tough questions. It's really a pleasure to be with you today. I think you will find the day well worth it, well worth the time you've devoted to come down here. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the service that you provide to your constituents, and we are always ready to help you at the department provide efficient service. Thank you very much.